Hi there guys, and welcome back to Finding Your Casual Magic. Guys, this is going to be a bit of a different solo episode. So I had this whole grand plan for today's episode. I had a topic. Whenever I have a topic, I try and do some research in advance. I take some time to write a script, to impart value, to attempt to bring some wisdom to your daily lives. But today, being completely real with you, I sat down here, I had my wonderful team in the room, and I just couldn't get words out. I couldn't get words out, and I felt really tight. I sat on the floor for a second, and one of my amazing team members sang a song, and I just burst into tears. And so today, we are completely scrapping what I was meant to be doing for today's episode. It's just me with my feelings, because I'm kind of not okay. I'm kind of not okay today and this week and a lot recently. The heart of what I want this podcast to be is about vulnerability and about sharing real human experiences. And often I bring people onto this podcast to share theirs. But when it's solo episodes, I often want to lean on research as opposed to sharing what's actually happening in my life and my story right now. So today, it's going to be a completely unplanned episode. If you're here expecting some kind of wisdom, you're not going to get it because I'm just struggling. And today I want to talk about that struggle. If any of you guys are going through your own heaviness and life feels hard, or you're just, you're scrolling on Instagram and you're seeing the state of the world, you're seeing starving children in Gaza, you're watching world wars, you're thinking about the climate crisis, whatever it is, whether it's at a personal scale or at the world scale, if you feel in a chaos, I really see you. I really see you. Before I tell you guys more about what's happening in my life, I still want to honour the rituals at the start of every episode. So first, I'm going to play you guys a moment of casual magic that one of you have sent me, and I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm very excited to. This is from Katie.
Hi Jade. My casual magic of today was when I went to the supermarket to do my food shopping, and when we went in it was quite bright sunshine and it was really nice weather, and then as I started to do my shopping I could hear the rain beginning, and it started to absolutely torrentially rain, and just as I was ready to come out to go back to my car with my shop, it was like bouncing off the ground. It was that rainy. And so everyone that had just done their shopping, we were all just stood congregated in the shelter outside the supermarket, and there was about 15 of us all stood there with our shopping bags waiting to go to our cars, and I just thought it was really cute the way we're all gathered there.
Oh, I love that. There's something about shared struggle with strangers when the weather's like rough, when you're all just gathered together and cozy. That is casually magic for sure. Thank you, Katie. If you guys want to share your casual magic with me, you can send them in, and I really do treasure every single one. I think the concept of casual magic feels especially salient to me right now in these times of struggle, because I feel like it's when you are in touch with your feelings and you're most cracked open to whatever emotion needs to be felt that you are open to the beauty of things in life. It's so counterintuitive. It's almost like the more pain you let yourself feel, the more open you are to all feelings, the more space you have for beauty and wonder and awe in the little things. It's like you get out of your head, you get into your body, you get into your feelings, and then you see more beauty. The second ritual at the start of every episode is I would love to invite you to meditate with me. If you're also struggling, guys, I just can't recommend enough the power of breathing. Just quietening everything for a moment, focusing on your breath, focusing on the moment. I hope that you come away from this meditation feeling a little bit lighter and clearer. I'm going to guide the meditation that I need right now. If you feel able to, gently close your eyes. Start to become aware of your breathing and your body. And can you notice any areas of tension in your body that might need a little bit more love? Can you send your next inhale, all that breath, to that space that needs it? Can you let yourself relax into whatever feelings are present? Can you relax your jaw, relax your eyebrows, relax your face? Can you feel yourself rooting down into the ground? No matter what chaos is going on in your life, know that you can always come back to your breath. If you're experiencing hardship and turmoil, that is because you are alive. And if you are alive, that means that you still have breath in your body. And your breath is an anchor that you can always return to. Take one more deep breath for me. Really, really big in through your nose. Let it be the biggest breath you've taken all day. And then sigh out through your mouth. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes and join me in the episode. My grandfather passed away last week. My dog Willow passed away 2 days ago. Both of them have played such important roles in who I am today. And grief is such a oh God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's such a difficult feeling, guys. The last few days, the last week have just felt like nothing else matters other than honouring them. I feel I don't even know how to say, I don't even know how to put words to this experience. It's so painful. It's so painful. The last few days, I've literally spent hours just on the ground screeching, literally being ravaged by tears. I didn't even know it was possible to cry this convulsingly. Like I think that's actually been a theme of this year. You guys don't see a lot of it because, you know, it's contrary to popular opinion with influencers, it's actually very hard to go and put a camera on when you're like in the throes of a real big emotion. But this year in general, I've just been crying a lot, and it's like I didn't even know that I was capable of this many tears. But God, in the last week, I have just been humbled. We all know life is finite, particularly in the case of both my grandfather and my dog. They both had cancer. They were both, you know, in old age. You know that life is finite, especially so for them. There is something about the final trigger of hearing news of death that is, it's soul shattering. It's like the world just stops for a second and everything is pulled again into clarifying focus. You know, you remember that our time on this planet is limited. You remember that all the things we're worried about day to day generally don't matter that much. Like if you're on your deathbed, you know, you're not thinking about, should I have said something different in the conversation yesterday? All these little, the normal things of adulting every day that occupy our brains and cause us stress and worry are just like not, they just don't matter as much. I hate that the world is designed in such a way that when we go through periods of really intense emotion, we're still expected to carry on like everything's okay. We do not have like the societal structures to manage going through heavy feelings. Like, you know, I still have to show up to work to pay bills to make life happen, and there's so many like logistics and adulting and things that I have to sort, and I just have to like get on with life, even though I really just don't feel like functioning right now. And in my experience, it's like most people have no idea what to say when you talk about death or grief. Like people offer condolences, which I'm really grateful for, but we're not taught to talk about heavy things. There is an awkwardness that enters every conversation when we talk about death. Because if someone offers their condolences and I start crying, that person feels bad for making me cry. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I hope you're okay. I didn't want to make you cry. But like, what I wish people would understand is that crying is amazing. And I wish people would like feel like tears are good, you know? Like, I want to be encouraged to feel, I want to be encouraged to cry. Me crying is not a sign that you've said something wrong or probed too deep. It's just like a sign of me moving through these feelings, and that I feel like I can be vulnerable enough with you to share my authentic feelings at that moment with you too. I think that's beautiful. Something I've also noticed in the last few days when I've been telling people about them passing is that people, they want to like change the topic as though asking further questions about them is to add more pain to me. But like, I find myself really wanting to talk about him. I want to talk about my granddad. I want to talk about Willow. I want to talk about my favourite memories with them. I want to talk about what they meant to me. I want to talk about what they meant to my family, and I want to lean in. I hope that if any of you come across a friend or family member or anyone grieving, that you offer them the gift of leaning in with them, saying, I am strong enough to be in these feelings with you, to remember this person for more than just like their death, and to entertain all the like happy positive memories too. I wish we were all taught how to grieve collectively, how to know what to say, how to hold space. Something I'd love to reflect on is that when I graduated university 2 years ago, I came out feeling very burnt out, feeling very lost in life. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, felt very uncertain. And I embraced that uncertainty by moving back home to my family, to hometown, moved in with my parents, didn't give myself a deadline of when I need to figure things out. And like, you know, slowly I made life choices, life kind of like evolved. And you know, I moved to Lisbon for a bit. I moved to London, you know, tried out different jobs, moved in with my partner at the time, broke up with my partner at the time, moved to Brighton. And I think all of the last 2 years of navigating adulthood, I feel like I'm constantly waiting for this aha moment, this click moment of to be like, oh yes, this is now how to be an adult. Life is better now. You know, the uncertainty is gone and I can cope. But it's just never coming. It's actually just never coming, guys. It's been 2 whole years since the structure of education finished, and I think I'm almost starting to resign myself to the fact that there is no adult glow up moment. I just feel lost a lot. I just feel uncertain a lot. I felt like the last 2 years, it's just hard. Like, I just feel, even though I do all these practices, you guys see me doing my meditation, you see me doing my yoga, like I live a great life, I invest in health, I invest in tools, you know, I go to therapy, all these things, and yet there is this unshakable sense that life is actually really hard. Life is really hard, and life just is not, it's just not easy, it's not getting easier. Moments like this where it's just like, I just feel like everything's just bad. Like grief, I'm going through so many like relational issues, I'm going through so many family issues. I just feel lost out of what I want from the future and life. Literally, I don't have any like advice to give. This is just me lamenting on the struggle. And I know that, you know, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow, maybe I'll wake up in like a week or a month, and like I'll have glimpses of aliveness that remind me why life is really amazing to live. But right now, it just feels hard. It just feels hard. I sometimes have nostalgia for moments of the past where I romanticize the past being better. But like, was it actually better? Was life just always like difficult? Am I just in this moment now where it's like I want to romanticize the past and the future to feel like those are going to be better than right now, because right now is so painful? You know, I'm just seeing everything in Palestine. I'm like, oh my God, there's like an entire famine, and I'm just watching it unfold on social media, and like I can't do anything about it. And like, no matter how many protests I go to or like donations I make, like it's just people just dying. I can't save my grandfather. Like I can't, what if my parents get, oh, I can't save my parents. Everything is just hard. Like existence is hard. Sometimes I feel so much pressure because I've almost created a brand for myself of being a positive and optimistic person. And even this podcast, even though we talk about real human things, it's always through this optimistic filter of everyday life is beautiful. Little things in life are beautiful. And though I believe that is true, I know it's true. I read every, you know, mindful piece of literature out there, and like all of them preach a similar philosophy that worshipping beauty in the mundane leads to happiness. But when I am feeling pessimistic, when I am feeling cynical, when I am just feeling pain, I feel boxed into the brand I've created for myself, because I just can't show up here and like smile and be like, let's find some casual magic today, when I just can't. Just can't. And I think that's also like the beauty and the curse of getting older for me, because I think the older I get and the more I grow, the more depth of life I acquire, I feel like the more authentic I'm becoming. Authenticity means not being like a happy sunshine all the time, like I was as a teenager, or like I was as a people-pleasing young adult. In that journey of like growing into authenticity, it's like it's really hard to always like have this positive brand. And I want, like, I don't know, I'm just really candidly sharing my reflections on life right now. It's like, obviously I love what I do, I love these platforms, and I love being what I think the internet and the world needs, which is like a positive voice and a positive spin on things, and like an antidote to pessimism, doom scrolling through the shit show that can be the world. But like I'm finding it harder and harder to be really, really, really light and to talk about everything in a positive light, because it's just I'm not feeling very positive right now, and it scares me, because it's like my philosophy on the world just doesn't always apply anymore. I know rationally with things like grief that it's like a beautiful human experience. A human experience is a fluctuating thing. Grief is evidence of love. Grief is a beautiful thing. Just let yourself feel it. But it doesn't feel beautiful at all. It feels fucking miserable. Like everything about life right now just feels like miserable and hard. And when I'm lying on the floor, like screaming, crying, it doesn't feel beautiful. It doesn't feel like all these promises about like, oh, feeling your feelings is great. Like, it doesn't feel great at all. It feels really fucking awful, and I would just rather suppress it, and I would rather feel less, and I would rather walk through the world closed-hearted, because it feels so much easier than to keep opening my heart. This is actually an open question to all of you. How do you keep your heart open when the world is such a hard place? When so many difficult things happen? How do you keep your heart open? How do you keep choosing to be loving and to believe like that people are good and that life will have good outcomes? And it's like, how do you maintain that when in like constantly trying to be open-hearted, life just like gives you more and more pain or evidence that it's not true? It's just really hard. Like, it's just a question I'm grappling with a lot, because I just feel myself wanting to like close down, shut off, and like it's like the second you shut off any feeling, you shut off all of them. I know that is true. Like, if I feel my pain less, I cannot be as present, I cannot be as joyful, I cannot let the like beauty and radiance of life in. How do I open up to all this heaviness, all this pain all the time? I just can't do it. I'd rather shut down and feel less. Any sensitive girlies or not girlies have any advice on feeling a lot and how to manage that? I know that on another day, in another state of jade, I would have answers for myself, but right now I just really don't. So any thoughts are welcome. If you've been watching my channel since I was like 16, then maybe you would have seen my study tube, productive jade, sunshine jade era. And sometimes I really, really miss her. I miss my naivety back then. Back then, I really thought that as long as I worked hard, achieved all A stars, that life would be amazing. I really believed that wholeheartedly. All my time was going into studying. I loved learning. I really loved it. I loved school. But I also just thought, you know, you work hard, life will reward you. And I was so optimistic about the world. Really believed everyone is good. Everyone is good. Everything is great. Like, even though there's hardship in the world, like, life is just fundamentally good. And as I get older, and I just like learn more and more and more about the world, and like also feel more open to, you know, feeling like negative feelings, because back then I would suppress a lot of them. It's like I just feel more and more disillusioned with the world, and I hate that about myself. I hate being more cynical. Is that just adulthood? Is that growing up? I remember when I was younger, I would look at adults and think, why are you all so miserable? Why can't you all be lighter and more joyful? Like, life is so beautiful. And yet as I get older into adulthood, like, I just get it. There's just so much like drudgery and misery and hardship and injustice, so much injustice. The systems around us are just so poorly designed, and so many people are struggling, and so many people are undernourished all the time. And it's like, how can you live in that world and pretend that everything's okay? It feels like being an ignorant bitch to be like, a life is amazing, when so many people are like struggling and undernourished. I miss naive Jade. I miss naivety. Naive Jade worked so hard to become Jade now. Naive Jade worked so hard to learn about the world and to learn to embrace her feelings and to learn to be authentic with herself. And yet here I am, the result of that, a much more authentic Jade, a much more well-rounded and mature Jade. It's just not how I thought it would feel. It's hard. All that self-growth to just reach a place that is painful. It's like, I know that it's good to feel all these things. I know that like life is actually amazing, but I just don't feel it right now. And I'm trying to also accept that and to let that be okay, and to acknowledge that grief takes time to process, and life comes in waves, and I'm in a wave of feeling like life is punching me, and I'm being beaten down by everything, and I just don't feel like a positive, happy version of myself. But perhaps the challenge here is to really learn to embrace these shadows of Jade, to love this version of me too, this cynical, angry, in pain, grief-filled Jade. Perhaps that is what life is asking of me right now, is can you still love yourself and love life even when it feels so bleak? Sweet angels, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for just like actually just being the best people ever. I was just talking with a member of my team, and she was encouraging me to be like really honest on camera, you know, even if it comes across rambly and I don't really know what I'm saying, like, but to just actually be with my feelings as they are. And she was saying like, Jade, your comment sections are actually just so lovely, like people are so kind to you. And like, she's so right. She's so right. You guys are really, really, really special, and just thank you. Thank you for letting me come and be my little vulnerable Jade self who's just rambling, and for holding space for this. Like, if you're at this point in the episode, thank you. If you're going through something yourself, I just extend so much compassion and love your way. I really, really hope you can be kind to yourself and gentle to yourself. It's so much easier said than done. My God, you know, it's so easy for me to come into this chair in this yurt and to give you guys advice. It's so much harder to follow it. I'm gonna let you in on like a little secret. At the start of the year, I did a tarot card reading for my year. If you guys don't know, I'm a bit of a spiritual girly, like a dabbling spiritual girly. I'm still also a rational bitch who, you know, I study sciences. Like I still critically think stuff, but I do very much believe in something higher, like the universe, or like, I don't know, like a channeling of God in some capacity. And tarot is one of those ways that I feel like I speak to the universe and I speak to my highest self. And I did a tarot card reading, and I got a card to represent this year. And you know what the card was? It was the Wheel of Fortune. It's essentially just like this wheel of unpredictability. It's like spinning a wheel of life. You could get the biggest highs, but you could also have the biggest lows. It's like just total unpredictability. And life has very much felt like that this year. Just, oh my God, it feels like nothing has really gone the way I intended. And I'm just constantly being thrown different challenges in all areas of life. But the message of this card is to try and be like the center of the wheel. Even when there are all these things spinning around, all this uncertainty, all this unpredictability, all this hardship, and all those amazing things, but then the hardship again. How can you come back to a sense of centre? So that is what I'm holding on to in these times of grief and pain and difficulty. Who is Jade? Who do I want to be? What are my values? How can I go inward? How can I close my eyes, be with my breath, remind myself of what is real? And so I hope that if you too are going through a time of chaos, that you can find your centre, whatever that means to you. We all have different feelings and expressions of centre, things that make us feel like ourselves, our best selves. But I invite you to be with your centre. My parting thought for you would be that as tough as it is, I think the more life we live, the less we know. the less sure we are of everything. And that in many ways, true wisdom is actually knowing nothing. Guys, you know I love learning. You know I love self-growth. You know I love always, you know, trying to introspect about like coming to these conclusions about what makes life worth living and how to live a good life and all these things. But I actually think you just can't ever know. And the whole point of life is to keep shaking you around and changing your perspectives on everything, and that every time you think you've grasped it and you think that you know, it will be revealed to you again that you do not know. And it's humbling and awful and important. Even though I sit by a microphone, I don't know anything. I am figuring it out just like all of you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. My casual magic today was like breaking on the podcast because you know, I tried to record this first episode and it just didn't work. My casual magic was just like being encouraged by these wonderful humans around me to honor what's real and to not try to force myself into having answers on a topic that doesn't feel authentic today. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the strength to be authentic, and I'm so grateful for this land. I'm currently recording this in a yurt on this community project called Future Roots. I truly believe that this land has such healing powers. I feel like I come here, and even if I want to be a certain way, I want to perform in a certain way, and I want to like be more like happy, perky, motivational, or whatever I have in mind, this land just forces me back into the truth of what's real in that moment. It's sometimes uncomfortable, but it's a real blessing. So thank you to this land and to the trees. As always, I like to provide you guys with a little journal prompt. I'm going to think about this just like in the moment. What would I want to journal on right now? If you want to, you can go grab a notebook or your notes app, or just answer this in your head if you'd like. In times of chaos, how do you reconnect to your center? Do you have any examples of the past where life has felt really overwhelming and a certain tool or activity has reminded you what matters? And then another question I'd love to ask you is, what's on my heart today? Not what's on my mind, but what is on my heart? Is there anything feelings-wise in your body that you can express on a page? Can you make something within yourself feel seen right now? As always, if no one has told you today, you are enough. My God, guys, you are enough. I'm trying to remind myself, even on days like this, right, where I don't feel like I've successfully done what I set out to do, done what I planned to do. I am enough. I'm enough in my struggle. I'm enough in however I'm coping, even if I don't feel like I'm functioning well. Like I'm still here. I'm still going. I'm enough. And you are enough too. You really, really, really are. All of your feelings have a place. And I'm just extending you so much love and gratitude. I also really want to make this podcast feel like a community, and so only if you feel called to share, I would dare you to open up a little in the comments. Is there something that you're going through that feels particularly raw or difficult, challenging, that you can give voice to, and therefore, you know, show yourself that this matters to you, but also show other people that all of us are imperfect and going through things, and almost we can create this comment section of radical vulnerability. Thank you guys. I love you. Stay tuned and stay magical.